the first one is after you do the application inventory, to look at what other applications and databases this application actually connects to. Because if you try to migrate something off into another data center and you don't consider all the back-end systems that attach to it, you're not going to be able to actually work effectively. And that includes systems that don't run like every hour,
Right.
that run every month.
Yeah.
Because that's usually the killer one. The one that you never know about that runs every month, that depends upon the data that you have in your application. All of a sudden, there's a trickle effect of
Yeah.
applications that fail.
Yeah, you don't want one of those oops, like, okay, ready to turn the button here. Whoops. Good point.
Then the other things are basically, of course, in the DoD, we are concerned about the impact level of the data. What that is actually is it mission data, is it publicly releasable data, and that will determine where you actually can put it in what data center, because it has to be mission effective. And lastly, the usual problem that you have is after you clear out a data center, what do you do with it? There's refurbishing costs, there's reuse costs, and people forget about that cost because you just can't board it up and say, especially on a base, this is now a deserted building, and don't go to it.
Never thought about that one, especially on a base. You're right. You're right.
So there's that issue, and as Steve mentioned, for like the software-defined networking, we're looking at that too. Is how do you do now? Add that to the list of things that you want to do, especially on a base,
Right.
for the data center and anything else you want to do.
Right.